If everything in your life is falling apart, if you feel isolated, misunderstood, or like life is trying to break you down, you're not being punished. You're being chosen. You're being tested in silence, in shadows, in secret battles that no one else can see. Because the truth is, not everyone is meant to carry the weight of awakening. Only the few, only the chosen. There are tests that don't come with instructions, trials that shake your soul from the inside out. These are not ordinary struggles, they are sacred fires meant to burn away who you were so who you were here can rise. You begin to question everything, your path, your worth, your identity. And in that moment of confusion, something deep inside whispers, keep going. The world may see your chaos, but the unseen realm sees your initiation. Pain isn't the end, it's the invitation. These aren't breakdowns. They're breakthroughs in disguise, but only the spiritually chosen have the strength to stay when everything says run. The first test comes in isolation, not the kind where you're just alone, but the kind where even in a crowd you feel unseen. People drift away. Familiar places feel foreign. The voices that once comforted now go silent. And in that silence, you're forced to confront yourself. This is where many turn back, fearing the emptiness. But the chosen stay. Because they sense something deeper calling them forward. Loneliness becomes their teacher. And slowly solitude turns into strength. Then comes the test of losing what you love. Dreams shattered. Friendships fading. Opportunities slipping through your fingers. You try to hold on, but nothing sticks. It feels cruel. But this is the test of detachment. The chosen must learn to let go of what's not aligned even when it breaks their heart. They must walk away from comfort to walk into calling. This test teaches what leaves is not meant to limit you but to lift you. The third test arrives as inner chaos. Your beliefs collapse. Nothing feels true anymore. You doubt your purpose, your decisions, your very essence. It's a spiritual storm. Most people run to distractions, but the chosen face the thunder, because they know confusion is the beginning of clarity. It's the soul's way of wiping the slate clean. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. Then comes rejection. Doors slam shut. People misunderstand your heart. You offer love but receive silence. You give but are taken for granted. This test hurts the most because it attacks your sense of value. But the chosen must learn their worth is not defined by the response of others. Rejection is a redirection divinely guided. The chosen rise not because they are accepted, but because they accept themselves. The fifth test is waiting. Nothing happens. No signs, no breakthroughs, just stillness. It's where time feels like a prison. This is the test of patience and trust. The chosen must learn to believe even when there's no evidence, to keep the flame alive when there's only darkness. This is where true faith is born, not when you see results, but when you hold your vision with no proof. The chosen endure the delay because they know the promise is still alive. Then comes the test of betrayal. The ones you trusted turn cold. The people you fought for forget you. This test cuts deep, and the pain feels personal. But betrayal births wisdom. The chosen don't harden their hearts, they expand them. They learn to forgive without forgetting the lesson. This test refines your discernment. It teaches you to love without attachment and to give without expectation. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to stay. The final test is surrender. After fighting, waiting, losing, aching your ass to let go, to stop striving, to trust what you can't control. This is the hardest test of all, but it's where everything changes. The chosen realize that power doesn't come from force, it comes from flow. When you surrender, you don't give up, you give over. And life begins to move through you instead of against you. These 7 tests aren't punishments, they are promotions in disguise. Each one removes a false layer. Each one reveals the strength hidden beneath your scars. The chosen are not the loudest or the most perfect. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit when everything in them wants to. If you're facing silence, loss, confusion, rejection, stillness, betrayal, or surrender, it's not the end. It's your refinement. You're not breaking down, you're being carved into something unshakable. The chosen don't just survive these tests, they rise because of them. There will be a moment when the people you once relied on disappear, and the silence becomes louder than the noise of light. You'll feel invisible in rooms where you used to shine, and the comfort of companionship will be replaced by an eerie stillness. This is not punishment, it's purification. In this void, the soul starts speaking. The noise fades so truth can echo. Most turn away, numbing themselves with distraction. But the chosen don't run from solitude, they face it and find themselves in the stillness. In isolation, they learn the power of presence. They realize they were never alone, just disconnected from their divine alignment. Solitude trains your spirit to stand tall without leaning on others. It sharpens your focus and widens your perception. It strips away illusion and leaves behind only truth. The chosen learn that being alone doesn't mean being lost, it means being called inward. And from that inner space, they emerge unshakable. There are times when life takes away what you love the most. The relationship you fought for crumbles. The job you built your life around disappears. The future you envisioned collapses before your eyes, and it hurts deeply. But this pain is sacred. The chosen must learn the art of release. Not everything you want is meant for your journey. Loss is the soul's way of clearing what blocks your rise. This test isn't about what you lose, it's about what you're willing to let go to make room for more. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. The chosen release what no longer aligns, even when it feels like tearing away a piece of their heart. They trust that what is real cannot be lost, and what is meant will return stronger, truer, deeper. The ones who survive this test don't live in bitterness, they live in brave surrender. There comes a phase when everything you believed starts to collapse. Your truths feel like lies, and the ground beneath you begins to shift. It's a spiritual earthquake. You question your purpose, your place, your path. It's terrifying. But in this storm of uncertainty, the chosen are reborn. Confusion is the precursor to wisdom. When the old beliefs die, the new ones can finally live. The chosen don't run, they stand in the chaos until clarity rises. They let their old identity burn so their true essence can emerge. This test strips away all pretense and demands authenticity. It asks, will you trust what's unfolding even when it makes no sense? The chosen say yes. They embrace the unknown and allow the fire of confusion to forge a sharper vision. What feels like breaking is actually building. You are not falling apart, you are falling into alignment. You'll be rejected, misunderstood, and cast aside. Not once, but many times. The people you wanted to impress won't see you. The love you gave won't be returned, and it will sting. But the chosen don't crumble under rejection, they rise above it. Because they learn the deeper lesson, validation must come from within. They stop trying to fit into spaces that shrink them. They no longer beg to be chosen, they choose themselves. Rejection becomes redirection. Closed doors become protection. The chosen know their value isn't dependent on who accepts them. Their power is not up for debate. This test trains you to stand tall even when no one claps. It builds a foundation of unshakable self-respect. The chosen walk forward not to prove themselves, but to honor themselves. And in doing so, they become undeniable. You will wait, not for hours or days, but sometimes for months, even years. You'll wait for answers, for signs, for breakthroughs. And in that stillness, doubt creeps in. You'll wonder if anything is ever going to change. But the chosen endure this test with quiet strength. They learn that silence doesn't mean absence, it means preparation. The waiting is not punishment, it's alignment. Something is forming behind the scenes. The chosen don't give up because they see no proof. They hold on to faith when nothing makes sense. Patience becomes their superpower. They understand that delay is not denial. Timing is sacred, and when the moment arrives, it would unfold effortlessly. The chosen survive the wait because they refuse to settle. They believe in what they cannot yet see, and that belief becomes the bridge to the miracle. At some point, someone you love will betray you. A friend, a partner, a confidant will wound you with silence, lies, or abandonment. It will feel like your heart is shattering into pieces. But the chosen turn that pain into power. They don't let betrayal harden them, they let it awaken them. Trust becomes wisdom. Love becomes unconditional, but with boundaries. The chosen forgive not to excuse the wait. They learn to protect their energy and discern who deserves access. This test doesn't just teach who's fake, it reveals how real you are. The betrayal strips away illusion and clarifies truth. It teaches you to be whole without depending on the loyalty of others. The chosen become fierce with love and sharp with awareness. They rise not because they forget the betrayal, but because they learn to rise despite it. One day you'll be asked to stop fighting, not because you're weak, but because it's time to surrender. All your pushing, forcing, and controlling will come to a breaking point, and the voice within will say, let go. This test is the hardest because it goes against everything your ego taught you. But the chosen know that surrender isn't defeat, it's trust. It's handing over your burdens to something greater. It's understanding that you're not alone in this journey. You don't lose power, you access a deeper power. The chosen move from force to flow. They stop chasing and start allowing. They release the need to know how or when. And in that release, miracles begin to unfold. Surrender isn't giving up, it's rising up with faith. It's letting the river carry you where your soul was meant to go all along.